1721. He was the only signer of the 4 documents of America's founding. He was a devout Christian who passed in 1793. This is his story.
A preamble to the Constitution.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Look at all these people. There's so much more people this year to celebrate the 4th of July.
I didn't know that there are this many people here in Connecticut.
And all of them have something to say about Grandpa.
Roger, Martha, George, time to come in for dinner.
Grandfather, the people are speaking about you in the streets. As they look at the house as they pass by, and they tell me that you're a great man and that our nation would not be as strong without you. What did you do?
Did you defeat the whole British Army?
Are you a hero?
No, kids. I am certainly not a hero. The good people of this city have exaggerated the story a bit. I was trained as a shoemaker, not as a soldier. Besides, I was too old to fight in the war for our independence. Despite all this, God has blessed me in such ways, by allowing me to help with the founding of our nation in such ways as I am able. But I have certainly done nothing to earn the name of hero unless you consider nothing to earn the name of hero unless you count the ability to make a good strong shoe.
Listen to the man. Now, Roger dear, your grandfather may not have been a hero, but he is being far too humble. Let me tell you a few stories, and you will soon see why people love and respect him.
Dear, they don't mean...
Now hush! Josiah, would you pray for dinner to keep your brother quiet? Sit quietly and eat, my love. But I would like to tell my family the story of a great and godly man and of a great God.
Dear Lord, for what we're about to eat, please let us be truly thankful. Amen.
Your grandfather was second oldest in a family of 7 children. After his father died, he had to leave school early to learn shoemaking and support his family. However, God has given him a passion for learning, and he was determined to learn all he could on his own. In fact, just recently, Yale University gave him an honorary Master of the Arts degree, saying he has learned enough to earn it, even though he hasn't taken a single class.
Do you think I could do that? I would be very happy not to go to school.
Although you may not always love school, children, it is a good thing, I promise. I used to feel the same way about school, especially after our father died. I wanted to leave school and care for my family. But even though your grandfather was only 19 when our father died, he worked hard to provide for us. In fact, although he would have loved to go to university, he worked and saved so that my brothers and I could go.
Isn't that hard, Grandfather? Giving up something you wanted so much and letting someone else do it?
Yes, it was a difficult time in my life. Losing my father was very hard, and so was becoming responsible for my family at such a young age. But it was during this time that I truly learned to depend on the Lord for my strength. It is easy to think that we can do anything if we want to, if we work hard enough. But we really can't. Sometimes God brings us into hard times in our life to show us how much we really need Him. He wants us to love Him, and He wants us to trust Him. During these years, God showed me my weaknesses and the greatness of Christ. I prayed that God would show me how I might serve and rely on Him. God has richly answered that prayer.
Stand.
rest upon me. For when I am weak, then am I strong. 2 Corinthians 12, 9 and 10.
I would say so. With the strength of God, your grandfather moved on from being a shoemaker to being all kinds of things. A surveyor, a lawyer, a justice of the peace, a member of the state government, and of the government of the United States.
Ah, yes, your grandfather was known for his abilities with math, even on almanacs. Once, there was a clear sunny day when it had been predicted rain. Many men laughed at Roger as they went away from the courthouse to lunch. But Roger was the only one to have a coat that afternoon when, sure enough, it began to pour. That evening, your grandfather was the only man who came home dry.
Yes, God has blessed me in ways I would have never expected. But it wasn't always easy to trust him when my dear first wife Elizabeth and two of our children died of illness. Through those dark times, I struggled to remember that God was my strength. But little did I know the next blessing God had in store for me.
Why is Grandpa looking at you like that, Grandma?
I can't answer that for you, Martha. Roger came to visit me for a few days, but was in a great hurry to leave and continue on to New Haven. I decided to ride with him for a short distance as he departed. While traveling down the road, he should appear riding toward us, from my wife's young niece, Rebecca, who was on her way to visit my wife. Naturally, I stopped to greet her, expecting to spend just a moment before carrying on with our journey. However, much to my surprise, Roger no longer seemed in a hurry. Your grandfather had that same look then as you saw just now, Martha. As a matter of fact, he insisted on turning our horses around and accompanying Rebecca back to my home. And do you know how long your grandfather stayed?
How long?
He stayed for several more days. I'm quite sure it wasn't my wife's cooking or my good conversation that kept him there either. Although Rebecca was younger than your grandfather, it didn't take long for them to discover that they wanted to stay together for much longer. They were soon married.
Your grandmother is quite the woman. I'd be most helpless without her advice and care. And she is a beautiful woman too. Did you know that one evening when we were dining with many of our friends from Congress, George Washington himself escorted my wife into dinner, declaring that she was the prettiest lady in the room.
Oh, Roger, why do you tell the children such nonsense?
Well, now it is my turn to praise you as a good example to our family.
But still, I don't understand why the people in the streets thought Grandfather was so important to our nation. What did he do?
Goodness, I hadn't even gotten to that part of the story yet. Your grandfather was asked very early to help in the government. First, here in Connecticut, then from men all over the colonies. God gave him wisdom and thoughtfulness and put him in a place where he could use that wisdom to make good decisions for the United States of America. Did you know that he is the only man who helped write and also signed all four documents that helped form our nation? The Continental Association, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Articles of Confederation. He was also the one who came up with a solution when the states were arguing about how the government should be set up.
That's right. The big states want a representation by population, and the small states want a representation to be equal for all states.
What did you do, Grandpa?
Well, I compromised.
That's right. He suggested a government with two parts, one represented by population and one represented equally. Some people called it the Connecticut Compromise or Sherman's Compromise, but the smart ones called it the Great Compromise because it helped solve a big problem and brought the states into agreement.
Well now, while it is true that I was asked to help quite often, I truly needed God's strength. I was not comfortable speaking in front of people. Many of the men in Congress have gone to a university and have been taught how to speak well. Who was I, a poor shoemaker? What could I say or do? But God helped me to proclaim what I believed was right, even when I wasn't comfortable doing it. Like admonishing our senators at one time, let us live no more to ourselves, but to him who loved us
remember, children, what God said to the Apostle Paul? He said, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." That's what Paul could say. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Your grandfather lives that.
Yes. God has helped me to keep those words in my heart. He's taught me to be thankful for my weaknesses, because through them, the power of Christ is shown clearly. I especially need to remember that as I prepare to speak in public, as I must do this afternoon.
Ah, yes. Your grandfather does not always make the most impressive figure when he speaks. He has always refused to wear a wig or dress in any finer clothing than the poor homely things I sew. He has such a way of standing, with one fist clenched at his side and one fist clenched straight before him. Some men laugh when they see him and hear the abrupt way in which he speaks, but they soon stop when they hear what he has to say. Did you know that Thomas Jefferson once said, "That is Mr. Sherman of Connecticut, a man who never said a foolish thing in his life."
Despite these words of praise, I know that I desperately need God each time I am given the responsibility of helping our nation. I have found great comfort and encouragement in reading God's Word. Every time I serve in Congress, I buy a new Bible to read and study during that session. At the end of the session, I bring that Bible home and I give it to one of you. I want you all to know how important it is to continue reading God's Word and growing more like Him.
So while he was involved in the founding of our nation, it was the hand of God that carried him through.
Any gift I possess comes from Him. He helps me know what is true and right and gives me the courage to proclaim it.
And with that, we must hurry and get ready for the celebration.
Grandfather, I think I want to be like you when I grow up. I want to help our nation be strong and do what's right.
I would love that. But even more, I hope you grow up to love God and find your strength in Him no matter where you serve.
Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in mine infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For when I am weak, then am I strong. 2 Corinthians 12:9 and 10.